I found a cruel text from my sister-in-law, Tara, calling me a gold-digging leech who'd ruin her brother's life. It was sent to our entire family group chat, exposed for all to see. At 33, I'd built a $12 million empire from nothing. Yet she humiliated me in front of everyone I loved. That night, I decided her betrayal would cost her everything. I grew up in Willow Creek, Ohio, where dreams were as scarce as money. My parents, Carla and Ray, scraped by. Dad hauled freight for a trucking company, often gone for days, while Mom worked nights at a diner and sewed alterations on weekends. Our one-bedroom apartment smelled of grease and desperation, but they poured love into me, their only kid. I slept on a pull-out couch, surrounded by Mom's sewing machine and Dad's stacks of unpaid bills. Kids at school flaunted new sneakers. I rocked hand-me-downs, learning early to hold my head high despite the whispers. At 14, I got scrappy. I'd collect discarded bottles, cash them in, and buy bulk candy to sell at school. By 16, I was flipping thrift store clothes online, styling them for Instagram to make extra bucks. That hustle lit a fire in me. Every dollar I earned felt like defiance against our poverty. Junior year, I met Caleb Walsh in history class. He was from Crestwood Hills, the ritzy part of town, with a smile that could charm a snake. I figured he'd ignore me, the girl in faded jeans, but he didn't. "You're Lena, right? I bought one of your hoodies online. Cool vibe." His words stunned me. Caleb saw me, not my circumstances. We clicked instantly. Caleb was grounded despite his family's wealth. His dad, Martin, owned a chain of car dealerships, and his mom, Diane, was a former pageant queen turned charity board member. Tara, his older sister, was a law student with a permanent smirk. Our first date was at a burger joint where Mom sometimes picked up shifts. I cringed when she waved from the counter, but Caleb just grinned, tipping her generously. "Your mom's awesome," he said. He had a way of making everything feel okay. Meeting his family was another story. Their Crestwood mansion had a gated driveway and a foyer bigger than our apartment. Diane's smile was polished but cold. "So, Lena, what do your parents do?" she asked, her tone dripping with judgment. "Dad's a trucker. Mom's a server," I said, chin up. Martin nodded, impressed by grit, but Tara rolled her eyes. "Charming," she muttered. I ignored her, focusing on Caleb's hand, squeezing mine under the table. High school flew by. Caleb got into Ohio State, his dad's alma mater, while college. Wasn't on my radar. Too expensive, and I had bigger plans. "You could get loans," Caleb urged, but I shook my head. "I'm building something real." He respected that, even when Tara sneered, "Some people just aren't cut out for higher education." We made long-distance work when he left for Columbus. I stayed in Willow Creek, working retail by day and teaching myself coding at night, using library computers. At 21, I launched my first app, a budget-friendly meal planner for families like mine. It flopped, but I learned fast. By 23, Caleb was back, degree in hand, working for his dad's dealerships. I'd pivoted to a new venture, a subscription box for eco-friendly home goods, curated from small businesses. I called it Green Nest, running it from our apartment's spare closet. Caleb believed in me, even when I had 3 subscribers and a maxed-out credit card. "You're unstoppable," he'd say, kissing my forehead. His faith kept me going through late nights and lost clients. We got engaged at 25, under a willow. Tree in a park we loved. The ring was simple. He knew I didn't need flash. His family's engagement party was a nightmare. Tara joked to a cousin, "Lena's probably marrying him for the trust fund." I overheard, my cheeks burning, but smiled through it. Our wedding was small, at a community garden, with my parents beaming despite their stretched budget. Diane contributed, but Tara made sure everyone knew it. "Hope you appreciate the upgrade," she whispered at the reception. I bit my tongue. For Caleb, I'd endure. Our first year of marriage was tight but joyful. Caleb worked long hours. I poured everything into Green Nest. The business grew slowly, landing a few local clients. Then disaster struck. A supplier ghosted me, leaving me with $8,000 in unsellable inventory. I cried on our thrift store couch, ready to quit. "This is your story, Lena," Caleb said, holding me. "Keep writing it." I did, shifting to a digital platform, teaching sustainable living through online courses. It caught traction, fast. At 27, Green Nest exploded. A viral TikTok from an influencer mom praising my course sent sign-ups soaring. I hired 2 employees, rented a tiny office in downtown Willow Creek, and landed a partnership with a national eco brand. My income outpaced Caleb's, which he celebrated with cheap champagne and a goofy dance. Tara, though, couldn't stomach it. At a family barbecue, she quipped, "Lena's little side hustle must be nice for Caleb's ego." Martin shut her down, but her words stung. By 30, Green Nest was valued at $12 million. I'd expanded to a team of 15, with clients from Seattle to Miami. We bought a house in Crestwood, not as grand as the Walsh Mansion, but ours, paid for with my money. I insisted on no help from Caleb's parents. "This is us," I told him. He agreed, proud but quiet, sensing the strain with his family. Tara's jabs grew sharper. "New money's so loud," she'd say, eyeing our home. I ignored her, but tension simmered. That fateful night, we were at the Walsh Mansion for Martin's 60th birthday. I dressed carefully, sleek black dress, gold earrings Caleb gave me for our anniversary. I wanted to blend in, not give Tara ammo. The evening started fine, with toasts and laughter. Then my phone buzzed, a group chat notification. Tara's message popped up. "Lena's a gold-digging leech who's dragging Caleb down. She'll bleed him dry." My stomach dropped. Every Walsh was in that chat. Diane, Martin, Caleb's cousins, all saw it. My hands shook as I stared at Tara's text, her words searing into me like a brand. The dining room buzzed with clinking glasses, but I felt like I was drowning. Caleb's cousin, Nate, coughed awkwardly, eyes darting to his phone. Diane sipped, her wine, lips tight. Martin cleared his throat, but no one spoke. Tara just smirked, leaning back in her chair like she'd won something. I wanted to scream, to hurl my glass at her smug face, but I froze, humiliation choking me. Caleb's face went red. "Tara, what the hell?" he snapped, his voice low but lethal. She shrugged. "Just being honest, someone had to say it." I pushed my chair back, the screech echoing in the silence. "I'm done," I said, barely above a whisper, and bolted for the foyer. My heels clicked on the marble, each step a hammer to my heart. I didn't cry, not yet. I wouldn't give her that. Outside, the Ohio air was thick, summer crickets mocking my unraveling life. I leaned against Caleb's truck, gasping. 7 years of biting my tongue, of ignoring Tara's. Barbs, all for this? I'd built Green Nest from a closet, paid off my parents' debts, even covered Tara's law school loans when she forgot to ask for help. And this was my reward? A public gut punch in front of the family I'd tried to belong to? Caleb burst out the door. "Lena, I'm so sorry," he said, reaching for me. I flinched. "Don't. Just don't." His eyes widened, hurt, but I couldn't care. "She's your sister, Caleb. You let this fester." He ran a hand through his hair. "I'll fix it, I swear." I laughed, bitter. "Fix it? She called me a leech in front of your parents. How do you fix that?" He opened his mouth, but no words came. Back inside, I heard shouting. Martin's voice boomed, "Tara! That was disgusting!" Followed by her shrill, "I'm protecting our family!" I didn't go back. I called an Uber, my fingers trembling, so bad I could barely type. Caleb begged me to stay, but I shook my head. "I need space." The driver pulled up and I climbed in, leaving Caleb in the driveway, his silhouette shrinking in the rear view. My chest ached, but anger burned hotter. At home, our Crestwood house felt like a stranger's. The cozy living room, where Caleb and I binge-watched sci-fi shows, where I designed Green Nest's logo on a second-hand laptop, mocked me now. I poured a whiskey, hands still shaking, and sank onto the couch. Tara's text replayed in my head. Gold digger, leech. I'd paid for her bar exam prep, $3,000, no questions asked. I'd gifted her a designer bag for her graduation. And this? I opened the group chat. No one had responded. Not Diane, who'd always eyed me like I was a smudge on her perfect life. Not Martin, who'd praised my hustle but stayed silent tonight. Not even Nate, who'd bought Green Nest subscriptions for his wife. Cowards, all of them. I typed, deleted, typed again. Finally, I sent, "Thanks for the honesty, Tara. At least I know where I stand." Then I left the chat, my phone buzzing, as replies poured in. I didn't look. Sleep didn't come. At 3 a.m., I scrolled Tara's Instagram, her perfect life, her law firm job, her braggy posts about family loyalty. Rage boiled over. I'd been the loyal one, swallowing her insults, funding her dreams. No more. An idea sparked. wild, and reckless. Tara's firm had just signed Green Nest as a client, my company. I could pull the contract, tank her career. The thought felt like fire, dangerous but alive. Caleb came home at dawn, eyes bloodshot. "I yelled at Tara," he said, voice raw. "She's unhinged, but I told her she's out of our lives until she makes this right." I stared at him, whiskey glass still in hand. "And your parents? Did they back you?" He hesitated. "Dad's pissed, but Mom, she said Tara was stressed," I scoffed. "Stressed? She humiliated me, Caleb." He sank beside me. "I know. I'm with you, Lena. Always." But was he? I loved him. But his family's poison seeped into us. I needed out, not just from Tara, but from this suffocating dynamic. "I'm going to our cabin in Asheville," I said, "alone." His face fell. "For how long?" "Until I figure out what I can live with." He nodded, defeated. "I'll handle things here. I promise." I packed a bag, my mind racing. Tara's betrayal wasn't just personal. It was war. And I wasn't running. I was reloading. The Asheville cabin smelled of pine and freedom. I dropped my bag, the wood floor creaking underfoot, and exhaled. No Walsh family. No Tara's venom. Just me, the Blue Ridge Mountains, and a fire in my gut. That text, gold-digging leech, looped. In my head, each word a knife. I'd spent years proving myself, building Green Nest into a $12 million empire, and still, I was trash to her. I poured coffee, hands unsteady, and stared out at the misty peaks. This wasn't just hurt, it was war. I powered on my laptop, the Wi-Fi spotty, but enough. Emails from my team flooded in. Green Nest was thriving, our latest campaign for a sustainable coffee brand trending nationwide. But my mind wasn't on work. Tara's law firm, Hayes & Cutler, was our newest client. I'd signed them last month, a $200,000 contract for a year-long eco-branding overhaul. Tara had gloated about it, claiming she landed us. Liar. I could. Pull the plug. Ruin her. The thought made my pulse race. I paced the cabin, its cozy plaid blankets and stone fireplace mocking my rage. Caleb called twice. I let it go to voicemail. "Lena, I'm handling Tara," he said, voice strained. "Please call me." I didn't. His loyalty felt hollow after years of sidestepping his sister's jabs. I'd paid for her law school loans, $15,000, when she was between jobs. I'd invited her to Green Nest's launch party, even when she sneered at my hippie business. And now this? By noon, I was on the phone with my COO, Rachel. "What's the status on Hayes & Cutler?" I asked, voice sharp. She paused. "They're onboarding." "Why?" I hesitated. "Just review the contract. Look for exit clauses." Rachel's silence screamed suspicion, but she didn't push. "Got it, boss." I hung up, heart pounding. If I tanked their contract, Tara's firm would lose face. She'd be the one scrambling. Sweet justice. That afternoon, I hiked the trails behind the cabin, the crunch of leaves grounding me. Memories flooded in. Me at 16, selling candy to kids, who mocked my thrift store shoes. Mom crying when I paid off her car loan. Caleb's grin when Green Nest hit its first million. I'd clawed my way up, and Tara thought she could bury me with one text? No. I'd show her what a leech could do. Back at the cabin, my phone buzzed. A text from Martin, Caleb's dad. "Lena, I'm ashamed of Tara's behavior. Please come home. We'll fix this." I snorted. "Fix it? Like Diane's fake smiles or Tara's half-assed apologies?" I typed back, "I appreciate it, Martin, but I need time." Then a bombshell, Nate, Caleb's cousin, messaged me privately. "Tara's been bad-mouthing you for years. She's jealous. Always has been." My jaw clenched. Years, I dug deeper. A quick search on X revealed Tara's posts, subtle digs about new money and climbers who don't know their place. One from last week. "Some people think money buys class. Sad." My blood boiled. She'd been plotting this, building a narrative to tear me down. I screenshotted everything, my hands shaking with purpose. Evidence, leverage, power. That night I lit a fire in the cabin's hearth, the flames dancing like my thoughts. I called Rachel again. "Draft a termination letter for Hayes & Cutler. Cite breach of trust," she gasped. "Lena, that's a huge client. Are you sure?" "Dead sure," I said. "And leak it to the local business blogs. Make it clear their associates' conduct triggered it." Rachel whistled. "That's bold. I'm in." Sleep came in fits. At 2 a.m., I woke to a voicemail. From Tara, her voice slurred. "You think you're so perfect, Lena? Running to your little cabin? Caleb deserves better than a wannabe mogul." I laughed, cold and hard. She was unraveling. Good. I saved the voicemail, more ammo. By morning, I had a plan. Not just to pull the contract, but to expose Tara at her firm's annual gala next week. I'd show up, drop the news, and watch her crumble. Caleb's next call caught me mid-coffee. "Lena, Tara's sorry," he pleaded. "She's stressed about work." I cut him off. "Stressed? She's been trashing me for years, Caleb, and you didn't stop her." He went quiet. "I didn't know it was this bad." "You didn't want to know," I shot back. "I'm staying here. Figure out whose side you're on." I hung up, my heart splintering. I loved him, but love wasn't enough anymore. The Asheville cabin was my war room now. I stood at the window, coffee cold, plotting Tara's downfall. Her text, gold-digging leech, burned in my brain. How dare she? I'd built Green Nest from nothing, paid her debts, and she spat in my face? My phone buzzed. Caleb again. I ignored it. His Tara's sorry excuses felt like betrayal. I wasn't just hurt. I was done swallowing her poison. Rachel emailed the termination letter for Hayes and Cutler. "It's ready," she wrote. "Blogs are primed for the leak." My heart raced. Pulling a $200,000 contract would gut Tara's reputation. She'd bragged about securing us. Now she'd choke on the loss. I replied, "Send it Friday. Time it for the gala." The firm's annual event was in Columbus, a glitzy affair for Ohio's elite. I'd crash it, expose her, and watch her squirm. Revenge tasted so sweet. I hiked the trails, sweat mixing with fury. Why hadn't Caleb shut Tara down years ago? Her snide, new money jabs, her eye rolls at my success. Why did he let it slide? I loved him, but love wasn't blind anymore. Back at the cabin, I found Tara's ex-post from yesterday. Family over fakes. Always. Fake? I'd paid her $15,000 loan. I screenshotted it, my plan sharpening. She'd regret this. Friday loomed. I drove to Columbus, heart pounding, in a sleek emerald dress that screamed power. The gala was at a downtown hotel, chandeliers glittering, champagne flowing. I slipped in, Green Nest's termination letter in my clutch. Rachel had leaked the news. Local blogs were buzzing. Hayes and Cutler loses major client over associate. Misconduct. Tara was about to crash and burn. I spotted her by the bar, in a red gown, laughing with colleagues. Her face paled when she saw me. "Lena! What are you doing here?" she hissed, grabbing my arm. I yanked free. "Just business, Tara, like you're so good at." I strode to the stage where the firm's partner was giving a speech. My pulse thundered. Was I really doing this? I tapped his shoulder. "Mind if I say a word?" The room hushed. I took the mic, my voice steady despite the fire in my chest. "Green Nest has ended our contract with Hayes and Cutler. Why? Because one of your associates slandered me, calling me a gold-digging leech in a family chat. That's not business. That's personal." Gasps rippled. Tara froze, her glass slipping, shattering on the floor. "Lena, stop!" she shrieked, but I wasn't done. "I built a $12 million company from nothing," I said, eyes locked on her. "I paid your loans, Tara. I supported your family, and you betrayed me? Enjoy the fallout." I dropped the mic, literally, its thud echoing. The crowd parted as I walked out, head high, adrenaline surging. Had I gone too far? No, she'd started this war. I'd just won it. Outside, Caleb waited, leaning against his truck. My stomach dropped. "Lena, what the hell was that?" he demanded, eyes wild. "You just tanked my sister's career." I laughed, sharp and bitter. "Good! She tanked my dignity, Caleb. Where were you when she called me trash?" He stepped closer, voice breaking. "I'm here now. I love you. But this isn't you. Isn't me," I shouted, tears burning. "I'm done being your family's punching bag. Why can't you see that?" He reached for me, but I stepped back. Then a bombshell. Diane emerged from the shadows, her face twisted. "You're a disgrace, Lena," she spat. "Tara's fired because of you. And I sent her that chat idea." My jaw dropped. What? Diane orchestrated this? Diane's words hit like a sledgehammer. "You... what?" I gasped. The Columbus night air thick with betrayal. She'd planned Tara's text? Orchestrated my humiliation? My vision blurred, rage and shock colliding. Caleb stood frozen, his face pale under the streetlights. "Mom, tell me you didn't," he whispered, voice cracking. Diane's eyes glinted, unrepentant. "Someone had to stop her, Caleb. She's tearing our family apart." I laughed, a jagged, broken sound. "Me? I paid your daughter's loans. I bought your anniversary cruise, and you stabbed me in the back?" Diane stepped closer, her perfume choking me. "You're not one of us, Lena. Never will be. New money doesn't buy respect." Her words echoed Tara's text, a venomous thread, connecting mother and daughter. How blind had I been? Caleb grabbed Diane's arm. "Enough! How could you do this?" She yanked free, chin high. "For you, Caleb! She's a leech, dragging you down with her hippie empire!" I staggered back, my emerald dress catching the hotel's glow, a cruel spotlight on my unraveling life. 7 years of enduring their snide looks, their whispered judgments, all orchestrated by Diane. My chest heaved, tears hot, but unshed. "Lena, I didn't know," Caleb pleaded, reaching for me. I swatted his hand away. "Didn't know? Or didn't care?" My voice broke, raw with years of swallowed pain. "I built Green Nest for us, Caleb. I loved you through every insult, every sneer. And your family planned to destroy me?" He looked gutted, eyes wet, but I was too far gone. Diane's smirk fueled my fire. She'd wanted this explosion. I turned to her, voice low, lethal. "You think you've won? I just tanked your daughter's career, and I'm not done." Diane's face twitched, a crack in her armor. "You're trash, Lena. Always will be." I stepped closer, inches from her. "Trash? I'm a $12 million empire. You're a bitter pageant queen living off your husband's dime. Who's the leech now?" Her gasp was music. Caleb pulled me back. "Lena, stop! This isn't you!" I spun on him. "Isn't me? I'm fighting for my life, Caleb. Where's your fight?" He flinched, silent. Diane huffed, storming off, her heels clicking like gunfire. I sagged against Caleb's truck, the gala's muffled music taunting me. My plan had worked. Tara was fired, her firm humiliated, but Diane's confession shattered my victory. This wasn't just Tara's war, it was a family conspiracy. I drove back to Asheville, Caleb's calls unanswered. The cabin's quiet felt suffocating now. I poured whiskey, hands shaking, and replayed Diane's words. Not one of us. I'd funded their vacations, their debts, their dreams. Why wasn't I enough? At 3 a.m., I scrolled X, Tara's post. Lost my job because of a vindictive nobody. Family first. Vindictive? I'd been their bank, Rachel called at dawn. "The leak's viral, Lena. Hayes and Cutler's stock is tanking. You okay?" I wasn't. "Keep the team steady, I," said voice hollow. "I need time." I hiked the trails, rain soaking my hoodie, my heart splintering. Caleb's love had been my anchor, but was it real if he let his family gut me? Diane's plot, Tara's pawn, changed everything. I wasn't just fighting Tara, I was fighting their world. That night, Martin called, his voice heavy. "Lena, I'm horrified. She's wrong. Come home, please." Home? Where Diane plotted my ruin, where Caleb stood silent too long. "I can't, Martin," I said, tears falling. "Not yet." I hung up, staring at the cabin's fireplace, flames licking my resolve. Diane wanted war? Fine, I'd expose her too. At Green Nest's next conference, I'd burn their facade to ash. The Asheville cabin couldn't hold me anymore. Diane's confession, she orchestrated Tara's text, lit a fuse I couldn't douse. How could she? I'd bankrolled their lives, loved Caleb through their scorn, and she plotted to ruin me. I packed my bag, heart pounding, eyes burning. Green Nest's national conference was days away in Chicago. I'd expose Diane there, burn their lies to the ground, and walk away free. This was my endgame. I drove to Chicago, fury my fuel. Caleb's texts piled up. "Lena, please talk. I'm done with Mom. I choose you." Too late. Why hadn't he chosen me years ago? I ignored him, prepping my speech. Green Nest's conference was huge. 500 attendees, media, influencers. I'd reveal Diane's betrayal on stage, link it to our brand's ethos, authenticity over deceit. Tara's career was already ashes. Diane's turn was next. The hotel ballroom buzzed, lights glaring. I wore a tailored black suit, my armor. Rachel squeezed my hand backstage. "You sure about this, Lena? It's nuclear." I nodded, jaw tight. They started it. I'm ending it. My team had dug dirt. Tara's firm was under ethics review, partly from my leak. Diane's charity, board, funded by my donations. Hypocrites. I'd expose it all. I took the stage, mic in hand, 500 eyes on me. Green Nest stands for truth, I began, voice steady. But some hide behind lies. My husband's family called me a gold-digging leech in a text planned by his mother, Diane Walsh. Why? Jealousy. I built a $12 million empire from nothing, supported their dreams, and they stabbed me in the back. The crowd gasped. Cameras flashed. I was unstoppable. I clicked a remote, projecting Tara's text and Diane's charity financials. My donations bolded. This family thrived on my money while plotting my ruin. Who's the leech now? Murmurs erupted. A reporter shouted, Proof? I played Tara's drunken voicemail, her slurred venom echoing. Then Nate's message. Diane told Tara to send it. The room exploded, shocked whispers, phones recording. I'd done it! Caleb stormed in, pushing through the crowd. Lena, stop! He yelled, face wrecked. You're destroying us! Destroying us? You let them destroy me, Caleb, I shot back, tears spilling. 7 years of their poison, and you stood by. Where's my apology? He froze, guilt in his eyes. Diane, in the back, stood rigid, her face a mask of fury. I'd shattered their facade. Catharsis hit like a wave. I left the stage, legs shaking, the crowd roaring. Outside, rain soaked Chicago's streets. Caleb caught me by the elevator. Lena, I failed you, he sobbed. I should have fought harder. I'm done with them. Please, let's start over. My heart twisted. I loved him, but love wasn't enough anymore. I need time, Caleb. Alone. He nodded, broken. I'll wait. Forever if I have to. I flew to our Asheville cabin, but it wasn't home. Green Nest thrived. Conference buzz doubled our clients, but I felt hollow. Diane's charity board dropped her. Tara faced a lawsuit. Martin called, apologetic. You deserved better, Lena. I thanked him but hung up. Their world wasn't mine. I listed our Crestwood house, bought a loft in Seattle. A fresh start, no Walsh drama, just me. Months later, Caleb visited. No pleading, just coffee and quiet. I cut Mom off, he said. Therapy's helping. I see it all now. I believed him. His eyes held the boy I'd loved in history class. I'm staying here, I said, but maybe we try again, slowly. He smiled, tentative, hopeful. I felt it too. Peace, not from revenge, but from choosing myself. Sometimes you burn it all down to rise. And here it is, the finale of today's story. Did everything turn out as you imagined, or did it end unexpectedly? I'd love to hear what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's dive into the discussion together. If this story kept you in suspense, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? This is your chance to join an incredible community where exciting new stories unfold every day. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date. Thanks for your attention and see you on your new adventures.